Just moments ago, in his first major interview since the debate, President Joe Biden facing repeated questions about his fitness for office and for the 2024 campaign. In an exclusive interview with ABC News anchor George Stephanopoulos, the president taking responsibility for the debate performance that has caused a firestorm in the Democratic Party and threatens to derail his candidacy, chalking it up to a bad cold. Listen.
And did you ever watch the debate afterwards?
I don't think I did, no.
Well, what I want to get at is what were you experiencing as you were going through the debate? Did you know how badly it was going?
Yeah, look, the whole way I prepared, nobody's fault, mine. Nobody's fault but mine. I prepared what I usually would do, sitting down, as I did come back with foreign leaders or the National Security Council, for explicit detail. And I realized about partway through that, you know, I get quoted, the New York Times had me down at 10 points before the debate, 9 now, or whatever the hell it is. The fact of the matter is that what I looked at is that he also lied 28 times. I mean, the way the debate ran, not my fault, no one else's fault. No one else's fault.
But it seemed like you were having trouble from the first question in, even before he spoke.
Well, I just had a bad night.
He's having a bad night. When asked if his debate performance was part of a pattern, the president said this.
What I'm asking you is about your personal situation. Do you dispute that there have been more lapses, especially in the last several months?
Can I run the 110 flat? No, but I'm still in good shape.
Just hours before the interview aired, the president held a campaign rally in Wisconsin, telling the audience, quote, "I'm not letting one 90-minute debate wipe out 3.5 years of work." Joining us now, NBC News White House correspondent Aaron Gilchrist. Aaron, what's the sense from the White House on his performance tonight?
Well, the interview just aired here, and folks are still sort of digesting what we saw tonight from President Biden in this 22-minute interview that he did with ABC News. I think there were a couple of things that sort of stood out to me. Obviously, George Stephanopoulos pressed the president on questions around his health, questions around his mental acuity, what happened at the debate last Thursday night. And then he also pressed him on whether he thought it was wise for him to stay in the race. The president was really defiant from start to finish and saying that he does fully intend to stay in this race. George Stephanopoulos asked him if he was going to, if he were to get feedback from leaders in the Democratic Party that suggested he might step down, or maybe he should step down. The president said no, he wasn't going to do that. He said the only thing that would make him leave the race is if he got a message from God Almighty, I think was the phrasing that he used, that God would have to come down and tell him to do that. Otherwise, he was asked, are you more frail now than you were 3 years ago? And the president said, no, look at my schedule. He asked what the cost of being in office has been for him. And the president was able in every instance to address his performance in the debate, saying that he was not feeling well, and that fed into his debate performance. But at the same time, I think he stayed on message. He was able in several instances to list off things that he saw as accomplishments both domestically and on the foreign stage. And he said that he believes that he is the most qualified person to do the job and that he knows how to get things done. And George Stephanopoulos asked him if he was being honest with himself in terms of his ability to win the election in November, given what some of the polls have suggested in the last several days here. And the president again said that he wouldn't be running if he didn't think that he could do the job and win the election. Allie?
Hey there, MSNBC fans. I'm Luke Russert, and be sure to join me, Rachel Maddow, Jen Psaki, Lawrence O'Donnell, Steve Kornacki, Joy Reid, and many more September 7th in Brooklyn. MSNBC Live Democracy 2024. Click on the link for ticket information. We will see you there.